Parliament's erupted into a war of words over National's plan for tax cuts. Labor accusing it of a flip-flop on a flip-flop.
And National's accusing Labor of dirty political games. Here's Amelia Wade with all the action.
Christopher Luxon having a ball. As puppet Christopher sat on a wall.
I can see the inspiration. Egg, yeah. Great.
But today his tax policy had a great fall. And with Luxon away, it was his deputy who had to put it back together again.
We will be providing permanent tax reduction that adjusts the tax thresholds as we presented in January at a minimum.
Their flagship tax policy put on ice, its old tax calculator taken down.
Because if we can go further, we will go further.
Look, if you can't hold a coherent position in opposition, how on earth could you run the country?
The change in tact on tax cuts launching the attack Chris's. Chris Hipkins dusting off his old Labor letterhead with the old spelling of his electorate to fire first. His counter Chris Bishop, though, getting in first with the verbal bazookas.
If the Labor Party is going to fire up attacking press releases to attack the National Party in a desperate attempt to distract attention away from their cost of living debacle, well, two can play at that game. I'm here to defend the National Party's record.
Hipkins politely waiting for his turn to attack.
A total shambles. I mean, who knows what their position is today? It seems to change from day to day. I mean, they've now done a flip-flop on their flip-flop.
The tax cut confusion concerning National's likely government bedfellow act.
It's always possible to cut taxes, you just spend less.
National says all this is just Labor attempting to distract from their cost of living payment going to Kiwis who don't need it, like dead people.
In response to that, I would quote James K. Baxter. Alone we are born and die alone. In other words, after someone has died, they can't update their details to Inland Revenue.
For the record, quoting poetry is the Revenue Minister's way of saying he doesn't know how many dead people received the payment. Meanwhile, National's heading to its annual conference this weekend with its voters not knowing its flagship tax policy. Amelia Wade, Newshub.